Audio check, audio check. Seems like things are working right. Woo! Okay. A little bit of a late start today, but we'll just play a little later or something. I don't know. I don't think CaptnmcD has to work too early tomorrow. 10? Oh, that's not too bad. We can stay up a little late. What's up, people? Ugh. Lazy day today. Gonna get into Ace Attorney Chronicles. Last time we were here, we were establishing, what is it, that Van Zeeks. The whole bumble with the Van Zeeks thing was probably a setup. With fake firecrackers and people being set up to go see it and whatnot.
From those sketchy street vendors.
From the sketchy street vendors, especially Beppo, the man we trust the least.
He's actually helping the most in this one. He's giving away his street vendor runs.
That's true, he's selling out his allies.
They're kind of liars. He's been through this shtick before.
It's because he knows what we did. It's because he knows what he did last time and that we caught him. So no more lying, Beppo.
I got in trouble for lying on this stand before.
You can't hide anything from us, Beppo. We know all. Do not try to lie to us again. Yo, what's up, Mina? Thanks for swinging by. How you doing tonight? Alright, just about to start. Okay, and I think we just got some red hair gang. Oh. Well, rolling start. We're going right into it.
Yeah, because remember you went forward last time.
Yeah, we went forward a little bit.
Like a chapter.
We wanted to do one screen so we could see what the red hair dudes were. Doing some Christmas crafts. Ooh, nice. I'm excited to see Christmas stuff. Alright, let's get started. These two men are currently being held by the police on suspicion of attempted extortion. You may omit your occupations, but state your names now for the court. Omit your occupations? Oh, that might be useful info. Oh, I am Fabien de Rousseau. A descendant of the great Rousseau family from Nice, en France. And my name is Peppino de Rossi. Friggin' spaghetti boy? I'm the third son of the great Familia de Rossi, the landowners from Napoli. Oh, who are these? Are these just like rich, spoiled brats? These two men first became acquainted at a boarding school for European nobility. Those who graduate from Temsic are the future leaders of Europe. But, do you have any idea how boring it is to be born with noble blood? Alors, I make it my mission to get the better of the world by employing the little grey cells of my brain. That is all I am trying to do, huh? So, that's the only reason for this whole grand deception you've been carrying out? You're just bored?
Yep.
Oui,
about right.
You could say that.
Not bad, eh? He has the grand ideals, but the petty plans. This strange combination is the charm of the
Hilarious brothers.
Is the charm of hilarious brothers. Si, capo.
Listen to me, Peppino. I have two things to say to you.
Eh? Che? Are you about to tell me one of your grandy anecdotes? Evviva!
Firstly, I want you to stop calling me this capo. And secondly, we are not the hilarious brothers. This is serious business.
Che bello. That is the capo's trump card, the furrowed brow.
Furrowed brow. I do like his like thumbs backwards animation. This guy's pumped to be here.
It is deep, huh, capo? The furrow and the meaning of your words.
The court has been led to believe that under the banner of the Red-Headed League, you have conspired to swindle money from unsuspecting members of the public. Is this true? Is this true?
No. Oui, c'est ça.
That's all we're up to, not anything more than that. CaptnmcD's just nodding along with the spaghetti boy.
And what exactly was the nature of this deception by which you planned to defraud?
Hello. I will explain it.
No, Capo. Leave it to me. Leave it to me. As you see, we both have the vivid red hair, no? At school, we were teased for this without pity. The Capo here, he was many times behind the schoolhouse crying like the Trevi fountain. He was a big bitch. Those dogs. One day the world will respect us redheads. Every night he would bury his head in his pillow and weep for the injustice.
C'est bien, Peppino. Enough. I will explain the rest. The first step was the newspaper advertisement. About 1 week before the plan was put into operation, we listed the same notice in every paper in London.
They're gonna be like, we just wanted a lot of people to have red hair so people wouldn't make fun of us. So
we just decided
to do it and
then let no one in.
Their hair red.
We just invited everybody into Red Hair Gang with the incentive of money, and then gave nobody money. What a plan. Time to start a new scam. Yo, new high-paying job for anyone with purple hair. Just free money. Show up. That's all you gotta do. Yes, we saw the notice. It was this one, I believe, entitled "To the Red-Headed League." my throat feels... I'm in! No, you know what? If I'm gonna start one, I want to start like Bald Gang. And then I'll hide all my hair underneath my hat. And then when people show up for Bald Gang, I'll be like, no, sorry, slots are full. And then everyone will be bald, except me. Ha 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 ha. CaptnmcD does not approve of this plan.
That one's rough.
That one's rough. That one's rough. Oui, c'est ça. I'm honored that you have seen it. It states that the only condition for joining the league is having flame-colored hair. And that if you satisfy the interview panel and are admitted into the league... On the date specified, red-headed hopefuls gathered in droves at a park specified in the advertisement. And from each person present, this pair took an application fee of 5 shillings. Oh, yo, that's so brilliant. Wasn't that some kid's book? What, like Bald Gang? Caillou? Where everyone kept copying, so she's like, fine, I'm gonna be bald. And then everyone bald. Oh, that's the ultimate play. Yo, this scam is actually so good. Which is like a horrible thing to do, especially like to take advantage of a job market like that, but damn. Everyone else shaved their head, yo. That's the big brain play. Nice. Alright, time to start this game. See, I didn't even realize that they were gonna make money off of it. I thought it was just to fuck with people. Did you know that, like, some jobs actually have, like, a $50 application fee? I'm like, that's insane. What the fuck? What a, like, no, you want this job? Well, you better have money first. Yep. No poor people allowed to work here. If you're poor, it's obviously because you're not rich because you don't have a good work ethic. Therefore, we've already weeded out the worst workers. Thank you, hiring algorithms. I can't get over this, though. That's great. We're just gonna take a few bucks, you know. And with the money to France, it was a plan most elegant, no? No, it was most dishonorable. But to be frank, I'm stunned anybody was foolish enough to be taken in by such an obvious trick.
The park was described by one witness as choked with red-headed folk, like a Costa's orange burrow.
And the day on which all these men gathered to apply was the day before the victim was discovered. Crucially, these two men spoke face to face with every single person present that day. Oui, I have seen more red-headed people in one day than I will see in the rest of my life.
See. And now, every time I see the capo's hair, I feel sick to my stomach.
Wow.
I hate that shit now.
Anyway, why have we been summoned here today? Sorry? The date for our trial was not until tomorrow, I was told. Naturally, neither of these men have been told any details about this trial.
Because they wouldn't have come.
They've only been shown this photograph.
Very good. So, Mr. Tiruso and Mr. Terossi. Mr. Terossi, you will now give your formal testimony for the court on the subject of the gentleman pictured in this photograph.
We've never seen this man before.
Of course. We're always ready to help with the law.
With the law? Listen, what we did was not illegal, just shitty.
They willingly paid them.
They paid those money. The man in the photograph.
We had more than 1,000 red-headed people assemble in the park on Lime Street that day.
But I don't recall the man in this photograph. Eh, Capo?
No, I don't remember him. Obviously, he is dead now, but I assure you, he was not in the park.
Allora, this victim is nothing to do with us.
You have a lot to answer for, Peppino. It is your fault that we got caught in the first place.
A, his chin is clipping through his collar. And B, what was that last statement supposed to mean?
They got caught by Sholmes.
Yes.
You've given sworn testimony that this man in the photograph was not present. Can you be certain?
Oui.
I'm quite certain. We did not interview this man.
Nobody looking like this came to the park. This I can promise.
It must be noted that you've been arrested for a grand deception, however. Accordingly, this court has little confidence in your assurances. We're gonna say it now. We don't trust either of you.
We're asking you in case you have information.
And you were willing to give it to us.
We're not gonna trust you if you don't have it.
We straight up don't trust you.
Uffa, with this attitude, we get to nowhere, huh?
He's really a sulking now.
This confidential document was obtained directly from Scotland Yard. It records an entry from the inspector's private diary dated the day before the incident. It reads, Lime Street, Red-Headed League, undercover. I definitely saw these two guys.
Ah, I have the answer. Maybe there was another similar event in the park on the day in question, eh?
Matt.
I was gonna say, I think
Big brain,
he
brilliant.
could have gone there and not gotten an interview.
He could have gone there and not
been,
gotten it.
like, lounging around looking for somebody and not been in the interview.
He could have also had a disguise.
Yeah.
He could have shaved his mustache for a day and then put it back the next day.
That is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
There's no question that Inspector Gregson was investigating the Red-Headed League. Which means it's quite possible that's when he was killed.
Very well. The defense may proceed with the cross-examination now.
Yes, my lord. Alright, honestly, we're kind of grasping at straws on this one.
Yeah,
so, let's press everything.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom and get it.
Okay.
But I can hear you.
We had more than 1,000 red-headed people assembled in the park on Lime Street that day.
But I don't. Oh, wait. First statement, don't press. You had more than 1,000 people? What? That's a lot of people.
Yes, it is.
Hold it!
Let's see. 1,000 people? That's a very big crowd.
It was quite a spectacle. Quite a spectacle. Redheads had come up from all over the capital.
See, the capo here, he has the magnetismo animal, eh? Nobody else could attract so many people.
I mean, I think anybody offering fucking 700 bucks a week would garner a shitload of attention. Evening, dude. Yo, what's up, man? How goes it, Rorix? How you doing today? Thanks for swinging by.
If I could be born again, I would be the capo.
All those people wanted was the money, Peppino. The £4 per week. Are you suggesting that you spoke personally with all 1,000 applicants? Oui, that we did. Because every one of them paid us 5 shillings.
We take their names and we take their money. And we take their addresses as well. Then I tell them we take some days to let them know by a post. If finito. Maybe a 2-minute person.
Oh man, yo, that's an even better scam. Yo, we'll get back to you. Man, I kind of want to start this job hunting scam. I'm gonna start buying some ads. CaptnmcD just says no. Okay, I won't participate in a grand deception. Today's chore day? Ah, okay. For me, it was lazy. I slept like 90% of the day.
We start early in the morning and we stop late in the night.
So you earned 5,000 shillings in one day? That's a small fortune.
Who'd have thought there were a thousand such gullible redheads in London to start with?
One of whom was a great detective with chemically altered hair.
But I don't recall the man in this photograph, capo?
Okay, we're gonna check this one. I feel like the air has got to be dry in here or something, cause like my voice feels like off. Feels like super dusty.
You gotta change the filters in that thing.
Yeah, I probably need to change my air filters. He doesn't look at all familiar?
No, I don't think so. And this is a wee guy. He was trying to trick us. I do not like the people who are trying to trick the other people.
Oh, you mean like yourself?
You mean like you? Says the con artist.
If between them they interviewed 1,000 people with red hair, it would be unreasonable to expect them to remember every face.
Yep.
No, signore. I may be small, but my memory is very large. I never forget a thing. In my opinion, I do not think this man was in the park.
But he's not going to give the court a definite, it seems.
Hey, capo, you didn't see a man like this, huh?
No, I don't remember him. Remember him.
Hold it!
I'm like accidentally slipping into a Spanish accent. It's very difficult for me to go to stick to one. But according to what you've said, you spoke with 1,000 or more people that day.
Oui, that's true. That's true. My eyes are burning by the end of the day.
Surely then, you can't actually remember every single face. How are you so certain that this particular man wasn't present?
Normally, the red hair is very distinctive, eh? But not when you have 1,000 redheads carding around, then it is just an eyesore. But if there was some other information you could give us, maybe we could recall.
That is not the line, Peppino. Remember, we do not remember him. We are sure of that fact, huh?
We don't remember Peppino. We don't remember him. Just don't.
If there was a man with a red hair piece, but his mustache did not match the color, then I do not think I could have forgotten him.
Kazuma said these two had only been shown that photograph and they'd been told nothing else at all. But what if I fed them just one other detail about the victim? For example...
Fish and chips.
His fish and chips!
That's super memorable for him.
Oh, he always has those chips, because he's gonna lie about the other two. I can certainly appreciate that just knowing the man had red hair wouldn't help you remember it in this situation. But what if I told you that the man was always munching on a packet of fish and chips? Like, all the time.
24/7.
24/7.
He doesn't sleep without his fish and chips.
He does not sleep without them. You remember a man who was eating incessantly?
Not really.
Like this one over here?
I was looking at the heads of the applicants. I was only looking at the heads of the applicants. I wouldn't have noticed the fish and chips any more than the caviar and smoked salmon.
Or spaghetti. Me, I love the spaghetti.
Really? I had no idea.
Tell them again what you said before, Peppino.
Si, capo. I say it again and again.
I think go back and try that
and
again.
Maybe their applications had to have
a name?
their profession or their name on it. They said they took a name and address. So
They took a name and
it's gotta
address,
be
yeah.
name.
So it's gotta be name. Alright, let's go for that again.
Hold it! So I was gonna say, I think they would be worried if a detective was coming. They'd be like, oh, turn this guy down.
Yeah.
He's gonna find out what we're up to.
Because he probably is not gonna be like, yeah, I'm a detective.
My name's Gregson. I'm a detective. Oh, bye.
Thank you for your $5. I could certainly appreciate that just knowing the man had red hair wouldn't help you remember in the situation. Well, what if I told you that the man's name was Gregson?
The man in the photograph is a Monsieur Gregson?
Okay, so it's gotta be, you know what? They didn't react at all. Oh, you know what? Maybe they don't know, but if you're like, that dude was a detective? Uh-oh.
Yes. Names, they are boring. They are boring. I did not listen to any of them.
Oh.
You took them down, though. It was not a real interview, huh? It was just for a show. Why would I remember the names?
That's right. This changes nothing. The man in the photograph was not there, as we have already said.
I see.
It seems there's little bit to be gained from pursuing this point further.
So I guess it's a...
Tell them again what you said before, Peppino.
Yeah, okay, so...
See, Capo, see. I say it again and again.
Okay, so it is just the this man's a detective. Oh shit, that man was a detective? Because maybe they didn't know.
Yeah.
Hold it!
Because he might be like, no, we didn't see any detective, and Peppino be like, yeah, we did. Oh, wait, no, we didn't. Okay. Let's try this again, let's try this again. Bop, bop, ba, da, ba, bop. I'm glad this one isn't one of the urgent ones, where we start losing HP.
Yeah.
I can certainly appreciate that just knowing the man had red hair wouldn't help you remember in this situation. But what if I told you the man in the red hairpiece was actually a detective?
The man in the photograph? A detective?
Yes.
It would appear he found your notice in the paper suspicious and decided to investigate incognito. Sorry, but this changes nothing.
Oh, yeah, Peppino. Yeah, there it is.
But not for a little bro.
Hey, Peppino. Something to add, Mr. De Rossi?
No. Yes, see. I am always adding something. Parmesan, olive oil, pepper.
What I mean is, did you not agree with your friend's last remark by any chance?
Eh? What did he just say? About the detective?
Yes, that.
Keep your mouth shut, Peppino. You have said enough already.
But why, Capo? What is the problem?
Oh, the kid just doesn't know. Oh, the kid only knows some of the scam. Maybe he doesn't know full scam.
There was a man who said that I am an inspector from Scotland Yard.
I think he's just small. I think they're the same
Yeah,
age. They went to school together.
Oh, you think he's? You think he's actually just a leprechaun?
Order! Order! Explain this volte-face in your testimony, witness.
Oh, you know how we can find out?
It's simple. A man who was at that park said to us that he was an inspector.
There was no such man.
Open the court record and you can look at their age and name.
Oh yeah, there you go. That dude's gonna be like 30. Let me check. All right, do you want to take bets on the kid's age? All right.
Unless you think they're still in school, because then they could be.
Well, I say
younger
kid.
grade and
Okay.
older grade.
I want to say like. I want to say I'll guess early 30s for both of them. I'm thinking that man's a gremlin.
Oh, I was thinking they would be 20s, not
20s,
30s.
20s,
yeah.
not 30s. Okay. 26. Okay. 25. All right. We were both somewhat equally wrong, I'd say. We're both kind of. That was kind of in the middle. And he's 20. That guy's 25. He's a baby.
He's just a little.
He's a baby.
There was no such man.
My die. What are you saying, Capo? Have you forgotten, eh?
Uh-oh.
I have forgotten nothing. Nobody like this came to the park.
Basta, Capo, basta. You beat me. You beat me at many things, but not two. The memory and the meals.
And, yo, the other guy's like, shut up, dude. And De Rossi's like, what are you talking about, man?
Just like my memory's
my memory's perfect, man.
Like I said, when it's time to eat the pasta, no one is a faster.
It's the pasta eating competition from Luca.
But you are inferior to me in every other way, so shut up.
Objection.
Hey, can we just split these two up and just talk to them one at a time? I'm glad that Kazuma also slammed his fist down.
Top tower. The damage is done. Indeed it is, sir.
Oui, there was a man who came to the park and said he was an inspector from Scotland Yard.
However, he looked nothing like the man in the photograph. It was someone else.
How can you be so sure?
Because, to start with, his face was completely different.
See, it's true. The man who came was a younger. His face was clean shaven. His eyes were sad. His chin was a sin.
Another inspector from Scotland Yard? Yo, send in Gina in a disguise.
Anyway, I was not going to be fooled. I took the obvious precaution and said to him, if you are really a detective, show us the proof.
See, the capo here, he doesn't take no nonsense, eh?
But he was well prepared. He said he had an identification.
Identification? You mean official police inspector's identification?
That is most unconvincing.
Sorry, my lord?
Counsel, no incognito inspector would offer his identification for inspection. It's quite out of the question.
Unless they're new and they're a bumble.
Definitely. Why would he expose his true identity? Clearly, the papers were fake.
Hey, Del Capo, you're a genius. As we say in Italia, it takes a thief to recognize another, eh?
And what happened after he announced that he was a detective?
He became very annoying. He said, "You're under investigation." So I took his papers from him and chased him out of the park.
It was fantastico. And look, here is the identification.
So you stole it from the man?
He had it coming. He made us very scared. But he was not who he said he was.
Indeed, the person described does not appear to have behaved as a true inspector would. However, I believe it would be prudent for these identifications papers to be entered into the evidence.
Open it up.
Oh, but I like them.
I'm surprised that they just gave that up. They could have just kept that and like ran with it. They probably could have sold that for like a shitload of money too.
They could have just done another scam.
They could have started more scams.
Now, let us return to the witness's testimony.
Okay, let's just look at it. Let's go look at Gina's identification. Oh no, it's real. Oh no, it's real. Well, I suppose we should see what this inspector's identification looks like inside. Alright, who's the name? Yes, it definitely looks fake, doesn't it? Oh, it's fake. Out of interest, what name is given? Probably just something plucked out of the air. It's Tobias Gregson. What? Wait, what?
Scotland Yard insignia. Looks genuine to me.
But how?
They already caught Gregson and killed him. Took
Oh, somebody killed Gregson and took his stuff.
He was killed not at the time that they think he was.
Yeah, that's what it is. So someone, they killed him and took his stuff.
The department identification and the details are all correct as well.
Since when have you known those? Do you mean to say?
I know it seems incredible, but yes. I think this is a genuine identification book issued by Scotland Yard.
But that's unbelievable. This is the real thing after all? The details of the inspector's identification have been updated in the court record. Okay, yeah, so they're lying about when they saw him then. Anything else? Seems good. Everything seems to be in order here. Yeah, why the yeah, no, I don't think that he gave them to you. Victim has nothing to do with us. Well, you just gave...
yeah, so present.
It's like, oh, hey, the thing you literally just gave us. Just...
Thanks.
You ran into him. I wonder if I could ask you to examine this identification book very closely. Miss Lestrade?
Why, Miss Lestrade?
She should have one.
What is your intention here, Counsel?
Is this really a fake, or is it genuine? That's a question, which we can't answer ourselves.
Objection!
Don't be ridiculous. No Scotland Yard detective would allow his or her identification to be stolen.
Well,
That is the boss's. No question about it.
It can't be! Oh shit!
as I suspected. The undercover detective who attended the Red-Headed League's enrollment on the day in question was the real Inspector Gregson, carrying out an incognito investigation. Zutalo! Oh, fall down. Alright, what's our Oki? We gotta get him on wake up.
Order! Order!
But if boss had his identification stolen, he would report it. He would have reported it straight away.
Because he was dead.
I mean, he was always on me about it. If you lose some up, report it at once, he'd say.
Could it be... I don't know, I went to cause him a voice there for a second. Could it be, then, that the inspector was physically unable to report it?
Physically? Aye? What are you saying?
You had him tied up or dead?
Unable to. You're not suggesting.
Yes, it's quite possible that he was killed before he had the chance to report his identification stolen.
No! Oh no!
Yo, it looks like Cosmo's like floating a foot off the ground when it did that shot.
Order! Order! Order!
The defense posits that the victim was killed the day before his body was discovered, at a different location. Do you two have anything to say about that? Why did he do a pump-up jump and then freak out?
Yeah! I know nothing. I done nothing.
Pull yourself together, Pepino. Mon Dieu, you behave a little more like a master of criminals than that, no?
And now I wish I'd returned to Italia.
Big, ugly crying.
Stop crying, Pepino, please. Otherwise,
Lume, stop your whining and start talking.
Well, I believe the court will need to hear your story in considerably greater detail.
I know nothing.
But you will tell everything, or face the worst possible outcome. You'll dry your eyes and testify again. About these identification papers, and the precise circumstances under which you came by them.
Oh, come on, quit crying, you babies. What a bunch of babies.
25.
You're 25. What are you You're crying because you got caught? Get out of here. Oh, look at these crocodile tears. Look at these fake tears. Look at these YouTube apology tears. The detective and identification. Look at these corporate apology tears.
The truth is, we took him prisoner and kept him for the night that our secret died out. Even though I didn't think he was a real detective, I was too scared to let him go that day, just in case.
We took the man's identification from him and shut him in the room next to ours.
There might have been a little tussle, but we did him no harm. And the next morning, we let him go.
He spent the night in a nice room. It was nothing like prison, really.
Well, I mean, I think
I
that
feel
last
like
one is...
That's gonna make him way more suspicious of your redheaded.
This is outrageous. You imprisoned the man.
But no, see, no. It was not like a prison. He was very comfortable and calm and happy. Capo?
We gave him spaghetti.
We gave him a spaghetti and the Super Nintendo to play.
It was never a part of my plan. I swear it. It was never a part of my plan.
So you think it was my fault, eh? Just because I got the date of the ferry wrong by one little day.
The date of the ferry wrong? What is that supposed to mean?
I do not think it was your fault, Peppino. I know it.
No, por favor, capo. It's not fair.
What are they going on about?
Yeah, what fairy?
Yeah, they're just talking about their other plan entirely that we had no idea about.
You shall have plenty of time for squabbling back at the prison, gentlemen. Oh, I don't believe this. How could he have been a real detective? We did not know that at all. Counsel for the defense, proceed with the cross-examination.
So on the day before the incident, Gregson spent the night confined in this pair's hideout.
It's probably a nice
Which is
venue.
probably...
Since they're rich boys.
You think it was a hotel? I think his body spent time in a fucking ditch until they needed it again.
No, but I mean like they're a nice place.
Oh yeah, they have a nice place. I mean, Gregson may have chilled in there, but you know, Gregson was probably not alive while he was chilling in there.
I kept him for the night.
Do you realize what you're saying?
You have to believe me, I never intended for that to happen. And I'm sure the detective did not intend it either.
Do you think? What?
But there was nothing else I could do.
See, nothing else. This wasn't the first crime for the capo. He was at the end of his wits.
I have told you before, Peppino, that is not the way to describe a criminal mastermind. What about this hideout of yours? An old empty house behind the park on Lime Street.
We rented the place for 2 days. It was an inspired idea by the capo here.
An impulsive idea, I would say.
No, not impulsive, inspired. Aye, capo?
What am I supposed to say to that, Peppino?
And it was in the house described that you confined Inspector Gregson, was it?
Oui. But you have to remember, I was under the impression that he was a pretender, not a real inspector.
That doesn't quite add up, though. If you didn't think the man was a real inspector,
Then you wouldn't have feared it.
there would have been no reason to take him prisoner, would there?
No, you are right. But we couldn't be completely certain.
We didn't think he was gonna put us in. Rules of nature. I strike first.
Hold it!
We took him prisoner just in case. Too scared. Why?
Because why did he come to the park? We didn't know. Why did he come to the park? We didn't know. There was a chance that he had seen through my plan.
And if that wasn't the case, you would go straight to the police station to blow the whistle on us.
I mean, you could just
Even if he
hire
was
him.
just feigning to be an inspector, he was up to no good, huh? Without a doubt, huh?
Could have just hired him for a few weeks.
Yeah, I could just-
as the agreed upon thing.
Yeah.
Do fake work, and then be like, "Sorry, we're gonna have to let you go."
Yeah, just hire him for some bullshit and then fire him later. Yeah, there you
And then
go.
be like, "See, it wasn't a scam.
It
You got
wasn't a
paid.
scam. You
We
got
just
paid."
Had an applicant that got hired."
Basically, they just pay him bribe money to go away without him knowing.
I think most people would agree that it's you two who were up to no good.
Well, see, you may be right. Eh, capo?
The point is, we were not able to escape from England immediately. That is why we had no choice but to take the man prisoner.
Oh, okay, so that's probably what the
They
ferry
meant
was
to
about.
leave the same
They were
day.
like, we're gonna run the scam, then we're gonna fucking bounce. What I don't understand is why the inspector felt the need to show you his identification in the first place.
Probably didn't. They probably captured him first,
Oh, they probably captured him and then just stole the stuff.
See,
and then saw that we're like, "OF."
Yeah.
I ask myself the same question.
We were writing down the names and addresses of all the people who we took 5 shillings from that day. I have forgotten what name he said, but the address, it startled me.
See,
You could tell when he's lying because he's looking at De Rossi.
As in,
Like-
don't say anything.
Like he looks at De Rossi, we're like, yes, these are the facts right now. This is what happened.
address, Scotland Yard. Homicide Division, he said.
What?
He probably didn't like your face, Peppino. Anyway, I was not rude. I just politely asked him why he had said it. And that's when he started to say he was an inspector. Not long afterwards, he took out his identification.
What was Inspector Gregson playing at? That doesn't sound like how Inspector Gregson would rock the scene.
Tell the court what happened next.
Yeah, Gregson is
You
like
took him
cool
back to your
already.
hideout, you say.
Yeah, Gregson barely tells us anything, and we've known him for like a fucking year.
See, we did that, we did that.
Took the man's identification from him, shoved him in the room next to ours.
Hold it!
That being this identification book here, correct?
See, that is the one.
What made you believe that it was a forgery?
I never seen a real one, of course. But he was so suspicious, this man. Allora, I was thinking, it must be falso. I capo?
Oui, it is just as Peppino has said. We were convinced it was not genuine.
And so together, the hilarious brothers, we took the man captive.
All we did was shove him inside a locked room. Then we made preparations to transport all of the money.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
There might have been a little tussle, but we did him no harm, and the next morning we let him go.
Yeah, that's super not true. What did you mean by a little tussle exactly?
Both. It was nothing. Just a minor incident.
The falso inspector. He was a real piece of their work. I capo?
What happened?
Uffa, it was a disaster. We give him a nice room, and what does he do, huh? In the middle of the night, he tries to escape through the ventilator.
Can you blame him?
We chased him, bien sûr, and we caught him again.
Can you blame us?
Yes. Wait, you didn't shoot the man in your haste, did you?
Zut, who do you think we are? Of course not. I simply caught hold of him again and took him back to the room.
Did you?
Doesn't seem like
Why do you
he
have
did.
spaghetti face? What? Is he like gonna vomit? Oh god.
You react.
Mr. DeRossi, is something wrong?
Aye, me?
Something Mr. DeRousseau said seemed to make you, well, it seemed to make you act even more strangely than usual. What was that all about?
Cavallo, at times like that, you don't want to have the capo after me. You believe me. And I speak from a personal experience.
Oh, he's chased you down too, has he?
Personal experience.
That is enough, Peppino. There is no need to say more.
The truth is, the night before we put the red-headed illegal plan into action, I was scared. It was not fair to the capo, but I tried to run away.
It's a shame you didn't manage it.
But the capo here, he came after me like the turbine, huh? And he dragged me back to the house, kicking and screaming. I still have the bruises to prove it. I capo? I'm only here because he's threatening me. Ha ha ha.
Bruises, you say?
Do you want to see?
Got the
Oh,
lasso
You want to see my fantastical bruises?
That's enough for now, Peppino.
What
yo,
if the
that's
street
what
guys
happened to
had
Street
it?
Guy. Yo, yeah, that's what happened to the other guy.
No one wants to look at any part of you.
What to do, huh? I show you or I don't. I show you or I don't.
You do. Now.
Allora, if everybody wants to see, then I do it.
Oh, that is the... I thought that was just shading.
It's still very visible, eh?
That red ring around your neck? You got that when you were dragged back to the house.
You see, the capo sometimes he is very rough, and
I said that's enough. Peppino's neck is nothing to do with what we are talking about here. You have my word.
Why are you being so dicey about it then?
Yes, What is your opinion, Counsel?
Relevant.
Oh, 100% relevant. Does it matter? It's important. Of course it's important.
Some other people with some rings around.
Mr. De Rossi, I'm gonna have to ask you to amend your testimony with details about that mark on your neck.
Aye, Capo, you see? Everyone is interested in what I say, huh?
Yo, that kid was basically only in it at this point because he was in it enough that he knows too much, and he's gonna talk.
Very well. You amend your testimony as requested, Mr. De Rossi.
Si, if you really wanted to know. He tried to escape, but the Capo put the collar on him and dragged him back, like what he did to me, see?
Okay, well, we're talking about that now. Are you saying that red mark was caused by...
Si, a big collar made from the leather.
A leather collar?
Is this true, Mr. Durousseau? Oh, what? We had the same Bernard at home when I was younger. Younger. It is a souvenir from that time, with a very strong chain. A strong chain.
And you put that around your friend's neck?
I'm sorry. I was so angry that he was leaving me alone.
You did not have to tie the chain to the leg of the bed, Ado. I would not have tried to run again.
You didn't do that to Inspector Gregson as well, did you?
Treated the people the equal. Is the Capo's here's motto, eh?
Starting to sound a lot more like a prison all of a sudden.
Okay, wait. We have to check. Is his neck visible? Check his neck. His neck appears to be clean. He did not get the chains.
But that street vendor did.
We know the street vendor did. But that means that he probably wasn't a prisoner because he was probably a corpse.
The Capo is a tough, but the Capo is a rough.
I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have done it.
So the following morning when you released the inspector...
Yeah, the red ring around his neck, just like me.
Peppino, s'il vous plaît, leave it now.
Now you know, huh? The Capo here, you don't want to tangle with him, eh? But for the inspector, it's not so bad.
So, where's the...
Whoever showed the badge, which we thought Gregson wouldn't do it, it was the street vendor, pretending to be Gregson.
You think that was the street vendor?
Got locked up, tried to run away, got the mark.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Then
God.
when they let him out
So
the
we're
next-
in two separate scams happening right
When they let
now.
him out the next day,
He got
continued what
beat
he was
the hell
gonna
up.
do of put out the body of Gregson
Yeah.
for what he was trying to be.
Okay, so... Okay. So where's the country? Okay. Let him go that day just in case. Took the man's identification. Capo put the collar. Okay, but we're gonna disprove this here. We're gonna be like, you didn't do that to him. Oh wait, no, not press. I want to present. Okay, so we're gonna go back to that because yeah, I think that makes sense because that dude got beat the fuck out of. The capo here is problematic. Yeah, he's got that yo, that collar business is fucking wild.
Oh, that's what Mina said before.
Yeah, toxic partner. Yeah, that's fucking wild. Okay, so let's go. There's no red ring. What?
Objection.
So the day before his body was discovered, Inspector Gregson was taken prisoner while working incognito.
No, it was not like that. It was hardly a prison. It was an invitation to stay. It was only.
However you describe it, there's one glaring inconsistency that remains.
What inconsistency is this, Counsel?
I would ask the court to look closely at this photograph of the victim, Inspector Gregson. You'll see that there's no red ring visible around his neck.
But that making no sense.
That's why they also said they didn't recognize him.
Yeah,
Like
so
the
yeah,
other
they
guy.
definitely saw the other guy, yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't catch that.
And I saw the red bruises on his neck, just like I have.
Given that the mark is still clearly visible on this witness's neck, we'd expect to see bruising on the victim, who's put in the collar more recently than Mr. De Rossi.
Indeed, that is most peculiar.
But what do we tell you, huh? Huh? We say this from the beginning. Many times.
Oui, Peppino is right. The man in the photograph is someone different to the man we held captives that night.
Wow. Oh, look at these honest scammers. These honest kidnapping. They were just trying to scam people out of 5 shillings. Even though they were already rich gang, they decided that that wasn't enough money.
It would appear then that on the day before the incident, the man who visited the park on Lime Street posing as an incognito inspector was not Inspector Gregson at all.
Objection.
If that's true, however, how do you explain the inspector's identification? This is a genuine identification book, issued by Scotland Yard. It's inconceivable that someone could have stolen such an important item from the inspector. The prosecution made that assertion itself.
And we also know that the inspector had made a note about the Red-Headed League in his diary for that day.
IDP was trying to raid you, but Twitch was not having any of that, Lamau. Oh, lol. Yeah, no worries, man. It happens. It's cool.
It's the thought that counts.
It's the thought that counts. And I'm glad that you just came to hang out and swing by regardless. And yeah, what were you streaming? Was it some Roblox?
You can't divorce the two events at the same time.
The inconsistency noted by the defense is most troubling.
Yep. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's some funky stuff. I see the thumbnails on my YouTube every once in a while. I'm like, man, that's some crazy things going on in that game. Even if that game is not my flavor, it looks like it's fun for those it is.
If it were the real Inspector Grebson, whom these two red-headed gentlemen encountered, the fact that no bruising can be seen around his neck defies explanation. But equally, if they actually encountered an imposter, how did that person come to be in possession of the real inspector's identification? Does the defense have some plausible explanation, counsel?
We do.
I really don't think it's hard to get to this point, guys.
I mean, I think it's more just that, like, if it's not in your memory right away, you're not gonna remember. You're just remembering that dude got the stuffing beat out of him, but you're not gonna think specifically of the red ring, I guess.
No, I mean, they're like, but how would somebody have his ID back
oh, like he got.
when we already said, you know, if he was physically incapable of reporting it stolen.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
they were
yeah.
like, oh,
yeah.
what if he was already dead? But
Yeah.
this time they're like, how would they have it?
Yeah.
It's the same answer, just somebody else killed him.
I played my favorite Roblox game as part of a contest. Got 18 plays to give out because I'm not playing it all night to keep my spot. Oh lol. That's how it be. Sometimes people just have more time.
It's for precisely these occasions that we keep meticulous notes in the court record, Mr. Naruto. Because those are the facts, and the facts cannot lie.
No, the facts can't lie. Even when they point to something so incredible, it's almost unbelievable. Well, my lord, the true identity of the person who turned up in the park for the Red-Headed League's enrollment is revealed by information in the court record, I believe.
Oh, good gracious.
Very tantalizing, Mr. Naruto. So, why don't you help us all to see whatever truth it is that you've apparently seen? Who exactly was this inspector that appeared before Mr. DeRusso, Mr. Rossi?
Imposter.
Someone was sus. It was Amogus. Though it seems incredible, I admit, the undeniable facts point to only one thing. Since no bruising can be seen on the victim's neck, the person who these two red-headed men took prisoner that day cannot have been Inspector Gregson.
In other words, your whole argument up to now has been a waste of time.
Objection. Let's continue on.
On the contrary, I haven't finished.
What?
There's no bruising on the victim's neck. So the question immediately posed next is, who exactly was this man in the park on Lime Street found to be carrying Inspector Gregson's identification?
See, that's right. We tell the same story every time. Whoever this man was, the capo dragged him from a pillar to a post with the dog.
I was not so harsh as you say, huh?
So who was that the falso inspector, eh? Who was he?
Clearly, the defense has an idea about that.
We do.
About the true identity of the man these two imprisoned that night.
I must ask the counsel for the defense to elaborate post haste. Who did the witnesses encounter in the park posing as Inspector Gregson?
You can still see it on that image too. They also draw this image to look very much not like that photograph.
Yeah.
Present.
Take that!
Goodness me, isn't that?
One of the witnesses who was in the stand this very courtroom earlier today. Man, whose only occupation appears to be...
Objection! What on earth would the street seller be doing with the police inspector's identification papers?
Yeah, that's a crazy question, isn't it?
Witnesses, is this the man or not? What has happened to his lip?
Ah.
See, this man is not for the red-headed league, eh? He's looking for the twisted lip league, no?
Perhaps rather than making such rash claim next time, you should bite your lip instead.
It seems improbable, yes, but one undeniable fact remains. During his testimony earlier, I noted something around the man's neck. A red ring of bruising.
Eh? What?
Yeah, I like presents. The defense demands that Mr. Gossip be brought back to the stand. Da-na-na!
Beat up and his lips swelled after he left.
Yep.
Order! Order, bailiff! Bring the aforementioned witness back into the courtroom.
Usually doesn't
Immediately.
swell immediately.
Yeah, that's a pretty aggressive swelling for that lip.
Oh, there he is.
Why are they like proud of it? They're like, look,
We met.
we're buddies.
Well, I never. An undeniable ring of bruising indeed. And identical to that of the witness beside him.
Now what's going on here, eh? I've always had this, me. It's a birthmark, isn't it?
A birthmark, you say?
I assume the reason you've been recalled to the stand has been explained to you.
Aye, I'm some outbound inspector again. But I'm telling ya, you've got it all wrong as usual. As usual.
You're denying all knowledge of it.
I'm gonna go if it's a birthmark.
Well, of course I
Probably
am.
touch it.
Yeah, can we just give it a poke?
Well, of course I am. Are you trying to kill me with all this nonsense, eh?
Ooh, gossip. Gossip, are you lying? I mean, they were part of just lying gang.
Well, at least you'll have more stories to peddle back on Fresno Street, won't you? Now, we're going to need you to testify again.
And you, Mr. Duruso, Mr. DeRossi, I'm sure you'll cooperate, won't you?
Do we have any choice?
We are being in trouble, eh, Capo?
Oh, they're separated now. They're not allowed to be. They're not allowed to be buddies.
That's enough. That's quite enough dilatory chatter. Proceed with the testimony.
All right.
I've had this thing forever.
Inspector and identification revisited.
The man who claimed to be an inspector that day was definitely not this man.
He's right, see? You think we would forget these grand lips, huh? I never leave Fresno Street, all right? I've no interest in any red-headed league. I'm all alone in the world, me. I have no kinfolk or nothing. Why would I be involved in something like that?
You do have kinfolk. You are involved.
Just look at me, eh? Does it look like it could carry off a disguise with a face like this? With a face like this?
Oh, I want to present that old photo of him. Just without the lip.
It would certainly appear that we have the wrong man.
What have I been telling you, ah? There was no need for this pointless testimony.
Let's press it then.
That's right. I'm just a simple peddler, remember? Fresno Street's all I know. How would I have come by a police inspector's identification book, eh?
Nobody.
Well, yes, that's hard to explain, but
Did we tell him why that's part of the
It was
reason why
explained.
he's on
It was
the
explained to
screen?
him. Yeah.
A brief cross-examination, I think, Counsel. Very brief.
Isn't there anyone in this courtroom who thinks I might be onto something?
I stand steadfastly beside you. I stand steadfastly at your side as always, Mr. Naruhodo.
Cosma grumble. All right, here we go.
Cross-examination.
The inspector and the identification revisited. The man who claimed to be an inspector that day was definitely not this man.
Hold it!
So you say, but how can you be quite so certain?
Oh, there was no need to hurt your hands on the desk, monsieur. Surely the reason is obvious, no? Because I have never before seen lips like this.
Nevertheless, there's a clear red marker on Mr. Gossip's neck. And it looks very much like that left behind on the neck of your colleague by your prized collar.
Mon Dieu, with your words, it is like you trying to wring my neck.
It does look very much like my neck, though, eh?
I like the
Nah. There's the birthmark, lad.
Hold it. Yeah, Peppino, what a little goofball.
The biggest lips in London and a neck to die for. Aye, they broke the mold when they made me. For the first time in my life. I feel lucky to have been born with that hair.
like
I'm
better than that
glad
guy.
I'm glad I'm not that guy. And I thought being Japanese made you stand out in London.
So you maintain that you've never seen this man before? Oui, c'est ça. I swear to it by the flames of my hair.
So fierce pride has outgrown the frustration with your hair now, has it? Now he loves it.
He's right, see? You think we would forget these grand lips, huh?
Hold it!
We have to prove that his lips are fake. Yes, I don't imagine I'll forget those lips in a hurry either.
That is what I am saying. For some reason, it makes me want to eat how did Fabian call it? An eclair. How did Fabian call it? An eclair. You know, I've never seen the hair as black as yours before either.
Likewise, I'd never seen red hair like yours until I came to Britain.
I see. Maybe it's a national trait, huh? Maybe all the people from this man's country have the grand lips.
No, lad. I was born right here on Fresno Street, and I've never left.
Uffa. That is the problem, see?
Like, if it's just a trait, then your whole people are like that.
Yeah,
and it's fine.
everyone is like
No,
that.
I'm a weirdo.
Oh, no, he's-
Well, then you're ugly.
Oh, you're just ugly then. Never mind. So you definitely didn't go to the park on Lime Street that day, Mr. Gossip.
How many times I want me to say it, eh? I never leave Fresno Street, all right? I have no interest in any red-headed league.
Hold it!
So, you'd heard of the Redhead League, had you?
You don't get a name like Gossip for nothing, eh? It's my business to know what's going off in town. I sold that tasty tidbit to a fair few redheads that came past me. Just between us, I even got sandwich to cough up for it.
Well, he does have a very red nose, if that counts.
Who knows?
But as you can see, my own hair's not got a hint of red in it. And in any case, Fresno Street's my patch. You won't catch me siding off to some other part of town. No, sir, not likely.
Excuse me.
Is that so?
Have you bought gossip from him somewhere else?
Did you buy gossip from someone else? Mr. Rousseau.
Oui? Can I help you?
Can I help you? Did Mr. Gossip's word just now lead you to remember something relevant, perhaps?
It was the other day when I was looking for a place near the park. A small house or something. To be in the headquarters of your Red-Headed League, yes. I visited an housing agent on Lime Street and there I saw him. This man was paying money to the agent.
What? Mr. Gossip? With a housing agent?
Oui, he had some kind of contract in his hand and they were clearly discussing terms. But no. You're mistaken, chum. I've never left Fresno Street, me. Like I said before. You've mistaken me for someone else. Someone with the same face.
No, the Cap was right. I remember too. He was paying the man with the banknotes.
With notes.
You're a beggar and you have notes?
Like I said, that wasn't me.
I was curious why this man with the dirty clothes had so much money. So I looked at the name on the papers.
And what name was written? Mr. Gossip?
Nope. It's gonna be the name
No,
of the deed
this
for
man.
her.
He lies. He tells you that he has no name.
But it's gonna be, yeah, whatever name is on that deed.
But in fact, his name is a Hugh Boone, huh?
Yeah.
He's better than Mr. Gossip, I think. See?
No! Oh,
Yep.
that's a gigantic.
I'm a peddler of tidbits of information, like I said, on Fresno Street, and that's that. I don't much like folk talking about my personal life.
Indeed. And it is not the intention of the court to invade the privacy of witnesses. Very well. I shall respect your wishes, sir. The aforementioned name shall be redacted from all court records of this trial. We will forget this entirely.
Thank God. It's like, are you insane? I'm sorry, my lord, but the defense does object. How, like, why?
That
Why would the
name
judge be like?
Is the name of the renter who
Why would you just be
rented
like?
the room where your corpse was.
Why would you be like? Oh no! Can you please not put that on the court record? Oh, okay. What the fuck?
Oh, good gracious. Do you similarly object, Prosecutor Sogi?
Yes.
As it happens, my lord, that particular name has already been mentioned during today's proceedings.
Well, I never. In what capacity?
Judge, have you not been paying attention? Oh, oops! I guess I wanted to look at that.
Hugh Boone. The name of the leasehold of the room.
Let me put this very simply. The victim's body was discovered in your rented room.
I suggest, sir, that you start talking. Well, all right. I suppose that might be the case. I suppose that might be the case.
So your real name is Hugh Boone.
Nope.
Yeah, that is also not his real name. I mean, maybe Hugh Boone is his real name, and
Daly?
and Daly is not his real name.
Well, just between us, I don't like to blow me own trumpet, but there's no finer peddler of tidbits in town. So I happen to be able to afford a grubby little room in a fallen down backstreet townhouse.
You do?
And once every 6 months, I go and pay rent to the agent on Lime Street. It's a monthly lease. It's a 6-month lease. That's why. I remember now. There were 2 vulgar redheads in there last time.
Aye? If either of us is a vulgar, it's not a me.
Think again, Peppino. Why didn't you bring this up before? It's like I told you already. I don't like talking about my personal life. I'm a tidbit peddler as far as everyone else is concerned. No fuss.
This should be the gigantic biggest red flag of the entire case because everything is just in that room.
Yeah.
Like, just, can you explain literally any of it?
You will update your testimony and include this most surprising revelation, Mr. Boone.
If I must. So the leaseholder Scotland Yard has been looking for since the body was discovered. Has been here under our noses all along. I rent the room when that fellow was found, it's true. For what difference it makes.
That makes all the difference. That makes you the most suspicious person here.
Especially, why did you have to force the door open with force to knock down the board
Yeah.
if you have the key?
A, why would you have to force the door open? B, why would you have a gigantic crime ring board in your room? So you live in that room, presumably, do you?
Nah, I don't live there. What do you think? There's no bed, is there? Just a desk.
Then why would you want to rent it?
Well, I don't think I should have to say, really.
I sell it to people that commit crimes, and then I do the cleanup.
Then how about the notice board in there? which was covered from top to bottom in confidential documents only police should have had access to.
No, that board's not mine. The inspector must have brought it along. It's only the other bits and bobs that belong to me. The desk and the chair and that.
Oh, well then. People don't generally carry enormous notice boards around with them. The real question is, why was Inspector Gregson killed there in your room? But, so that then also means that, okay, wait.
Well, obviously, I've not the faintest idea. I mean, it's causing me no end of bother, to be honest. It seems to be that Mr. Boone would rather as little is known about his room as possible for some reason.
Yes, it does come across that way. And more importantly, knowing that the scene of the crime is actually his room completely changes things. In particular, there's one part of his testimony that's really bothering me now. Yeah, that's how I'm finally going to undo this man, by showing him a picture of his wife.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm all alone in the world, me. I have no kinfolk or nothing. Why would I be involved in something like that?
Well,
What's this?
what was this doing in the room then, bro? If you have no kinfolk, as you put it, then explain why it is that among the sparse furnishings, we found this photograph in the room.
I'm a stalker. I'm a very creepy stalker, and she's very pretty.
Yeah, I presume as you've been renting the room that this photograph belongs to you, yes, does it not?
Oh, well.
Mr. Boone, drop the pretense and tell the court exactly who you really are.
I don't know what you mean. I'm a peddler. I keep telling you so. You really don't need to bother with me. Please, just leave it alone.
As the man says, leave it alone. Whatever the truth is about this man's life, it has no bearing on this case.
Not.
Because it's simply not possible that he impersonated Inspector Gregson.
You've never seen Inspector Gregson before.
How can you be so
All
sure?
you
There's
need
no
to
photo
have
ID
is
on
the
it.
badge.
Yeah, there's no photo on it.
Just look at the man. No amount of disguise could ever hide those unmissable features.
Objection.
What if we were to look at this the other way around?
What do you mean?
Yes, counsel. What do you mean?
Well, there's no denying that Mr. Boone's lip is very prominent indeed. But consider the possibility that his prominent lip is itself part of an elaborate disguise. And hiding that prominent feature, in other words, revealing his true face, would make an utterly impenetrable disguise. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Hugh Boone?
Ah!
Yeah, look, Cosmo's floating.
Good. Witness, are you still hiding the truth from this court? Why would you lie?
If that's a disguise, then underneath it, his true identity must be.
Yes, that's right. There's really only one person he could really be. My lord, the defense believes it can reveal Mr. Boone's true identity to the court.
No. Please, no.
Very well then, counsel. What is the true identity of this peddler who goes simply by the name of Gossip on the street?
That's tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, look at like how they try to draw him, so he looks as different as possible. Like they give him extra butt chin, they make his hair extra wonky, and his eyes are in a different position. Yo, it's him.
Take that!
Witnesses, are you still lying? I thought we told you you couldn't do that.
Your real name is actually Mr. Vigil, isn't it? Mr. Vigil, isn't it? Mr. Daily Vigil.
I don't recall that name, counsel. Who is this Mr. Vigil?
Just a man who's been reported missing.
Yeah, it's a name I encountered yesterday, my lord. It has to do with a certain client of Mr. Herlock Sholmes. A young gentlewoman came to the detective asking him to locate her missing husband. The woman in this photograph, in fact. This is Miss Vigil.
What? What?
From what I understand, you haven't returned home since the night before the inspector was found dead. But of course, on that night, you're being held captive by the two red-headed League men.
And last night, you were put up by the prosecution service in preparation for testifying in this trial. Because we've been led to believe that you, Miss Venus, and Mr. Sandwich were all homeless. Being important witnesses in this case, we need to know where we could find you, of course.
And that explains why you've not only been unable to return home, but also unable to contact your wife, who's been beside herself with worry, waiting for you at the Vigil residence. How dare you do that to her?
Nah, just you hold on a minute. I don't have the first idea.
What I'm talking about? Really? It's a simple enough matter to confirm my suspicions. All we have to do is pull off that disguise.
Pull on your lip.
No, please.
Bailiff, bring soap, a sponge, and a wash bowl at once. Mr. Giudice de Rossi, you will restrain the witness.
Yo, other witnesses.
Oui, my lord. See, my lord.
Yeah!
Ah! No, not the bees! Not the soap! Don't!
Oh, yeah, take that. We're gonna clean you up. Wait, they were just like full fake lips.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I mean, I guess I didn't know what to expect on that one, but that's amazing. Also, it's like his face is like from a different manga than his body.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Well, we are now seeing your true features, I presume.
Oh.
Oh,
And he's dressed.
and he's dressed differently. Oh, that means I should give him a different voice too.
Lift your head, sir, so the court can see your face.
It would appear that the defense counsel's assertion was entirely correct. That's wild. This has all been a very elaborate deception. So, witnesses, tell the court, have you seen this man before?
I don't believe it, but...
See, there is no question. This is the inspector we saw in the park.
Extraordinary.
Oh, he looks so stiff and not animated anymore. On the day of the Red-Headed League enrollment, a man claiming to be Inspector Gregson, who appeared before Mr. de Rousseau and Mr. de Rossi in the park,
Was you disguised as the inspector, or rather, was you posing as the inspector in no disguise at all?
Mr. Vigil was formerly employed as the chief warder at Barclay Prison.
The chief warder. Then your career had promise. Why, you would quite possibly become the future governor of the prison. What on earth have you been doing peddling tittle-tattle on Fresno Street?
Well, it's been 10 years since Mr. Vigil worked at the prison.
10 years? I'm really dreadfully sorry about all of this. Yes, it's true. I am Daily Vigil. And you were the chief warder at Barclay Prison 10 years ago.
You're angry
This
the beast.
this angers Kazuma.
So where did Mr. Hugh Boone come from?
Boone is the other me. It's a name I invented.
Well, evidently there's a great deal under the surface here.
I'll explain everything. I'll tell you just how wretched my life has become.
Oh, your wife still looks
How
rich.
my life has become so wretched. As you say, it was 10 years ago that my employment at Barclay's chief warder came to an end. Having left the prison service, I searched for some new occupation by which to earn a wage. But times were hardy in London, and I found no suitable engagements at all. In desperation one day, I turned my hand at selling wares on Fresno Street. But your wife appears to know nothing of this. She still maintains that you're the chief warder at Barclay Prison. I was utterly determined that my wife should not know of my failings, which is why I've never told her.
I opened an account at the bank under the name of Hugh Boone, and I rented the cheapest room I could on Fresno Street.
The scene of the very crime we're investigating.
Yes, that's right. A place from which I could emerge every morning at 8 as a squalid peddler, and transform myself back every evening at 5 into a well-dressed man about town before returning home. That quickly became my daily routine.
Yo, man. And he was able to convince his wife that she was still living a, lavish lifestyle.
Yeah, he's making enough.
Yeah, he's making enough.
I was puzzled by the lack of furniture in the room.
But it's just a change room, basically.
Yeah, it's just a change room.
But that explains it.
But why on earth didn't you just tell us this in the first place?
I have a wife, sir, and 2 sons.
And without wishing to sound self-conceited, they regard me with some pride. I couldn't bring myself to disappoint them.
So instead, you decide to conceal your occupation from them?
Yes. I've made such a terrible mess of everything.
Still, one thing doesn't add up. No matter how many tidbits of information you could sell to passing gentlemen, even at 6 apiece, you couldn't hope to match the salary you must have commanded as Commander-Chief Warder at the prison.
Very true. To have kept your family in comfort despite 10 years of somewhat misbegotten employment.
I may be an assassin.
That was all thanks to Inspector Gregson.
Oh, is he gonna throw Gregson? Is he gonna, fake throw Gregson under the bus and be like, he was giving me government secrets and I was selling them, or something like that?
Oh, I thought he was gonna say Gregson pays me an awful lot of money for word on the street.
Oh, Gregson pays me money for word on the street? Ah, okay. That's gonna be his play. Inspector Gregson, because he's gonna try and play like, oh, me and Gregson were friends. We're good. I would not possibly have killed him.
It was some years after I'd invented Boone and begun my other life as a street seller. The inspector, that is, recognized me one day.
Do you mean to say the victim was an acquaintance of yours?
I knew him from my time working at the prison. When he saw what I'd become, he was deeply troubled for me and my family. And from that day forward, he visited me on Fresno Street with increasing regularity.
Me and CaptnmcD, you two got the gifts exchange? Oh, we have sent our gift exchange stuff.
We got one.
And we suspect that we've got one of our gift exchange things so far. Yeah, how's your gift exchange thing going? Have you sent yours? Have you received yours?
With increasing regularity. And then one day, he asked me if I would carry out a secret assignment for him.
Yeah, it's sent mine. Ah, okay. I can't wait for the exchange. That's less than a week away. We're getting close to hanging out with everyone. That'll be fun.
A secret? What was it? I was to impersonate the inspector.
Soon should be, yeah.
What? Impersonate him?
We always met in that little room so when the inspector could brief me. Visit Orxie's tomorrow and take a statement from the proprietress.
What?
It was always something along those lines. Surveillance work, interviewing people. On those occasions, he would lend me his identification so people would believe who I was.
That is just... oh my god, that's such a lie.
My instructions were to make an impression. To let people know that Inspector Gregson had been at work. And for those services, he compensated me financially.
A Scotland Yard inspector willingly relinquished his identification into your care with intent to deceive. That, as I'm sure I need not point out, is a very serious criminal offense.
Well,
This is like...
so you can't.
You can't charge him. Well, I mean, we can still charge him.
But why? What was the point of you impersonating him?
I truthfully do not know. All I can say is that the inspector warned me on numerous occasions.
Now remember, Vigil, I need your solemn word. You don't blab about this to anyone, alright? Ever. Even if, well, if I end up a croaker.
Yeah, don't tell anyone, even if I'm dead. What?
In time, he started to bring papers with him to the room as well. It became something of a second office for him.
This is very bizarre. So, in fact, the person who declared himself to be Inspector Gregson at the park on Lime Street was really...
Yes, it was me, acting on the inspector's orders. As usual, I removed my boom disguise, and then went as instructed to the park, armed with the inspector's identification book. It never occurred to me that the bruise on my neck might give me away.
Such a weird pose.
Yeah, it's a very bizarre pose. And this is a very sensational testimony. Just, yeah, like, I don't know what to think of that one. That's bizarre, and I don't trust him.
Well,
But
he
also-
gave it away really easy.
Yeah, I
right?
gave that.
Don't tell
anyone,
even
even if
I'm
I'm
a Kroger.
Well, it would seem this confession completely destroys the defense's case.
Explain yourself, Prosecutor Asogi.
My learned friend's assertion was as follows. The victim was killed at another location on the day before his corpse was discovered, at the hands of these two red-headed League men when they imprisoned the inspector.
But no, that can't be. After all, it wasn't the inspector who went to the park that day. It was me. Oh, goodness.
Why would we believe this and not just think that he killed him?
Finally, we have clarity. We had nothing to do with the murder of the inspector.
We're just simple scam artists.
And merci, Monsieur de la Defense, for proving it.
What? Ah! I don't know how they're gonna buy that, like why they would buy that testimony after everything else that's happened.
Order! Order! Indeed, it would appear that we have reached a de facto conclusion of sorts. These witnesses had no involvement in the murder of the victim,
Whoa, oh my god.
as proven somewhat ironically by the defense.
So we're just gonna trust, man, these guys are sketchy as all fuck. We're just gonna stop investigating them.
Like I said, we're just simple scam artists.
We're just scam artists that are directly linked to this case that are not linked to this case.
I thereby call an end to the cross-examination.
Oh, thanks, game. Cool.
Hold it.
Hold it.
Oh, Kazuma. He's like, I want to know more about 10 years ago.
Pardon me, my lord, but with your permission, I would like to pose one further question to the witness.
Kazuma?
Word question, counsel.
It concerns the events of 10 years ago. I believe you would have been present at a very significant execution that was carried out at the time.
10 years ago. The execution of the professor, Genshin Asogi.
I want to know exactly what your involvement was.
Oh,
Answer me, man.
One moment, counsel. Is this related to the current case?
No.
Naturally. It is the prosecution's belief that this case and the events of 10 years ago are inextricably linked.
oh, all right, yeah, cool. All right, thank you for you saying that.
And you're like, sure.
Does the defense concur, counsel?
Kazuma, yeah, man, I'm down. You're not yourself. You're not as calm and collected as usual. Hey, what if he's not like the Edgeworth? What if we're the Edgeworth? What if we're the one continuing things that he wants to do in the first place?
Mr. Vitch's memories of what happened 10 years ago will tell the tale of Genshin Asogi's last moments, his own father.
I know, I do understand that. But even so... Prosecutor Asogi... Do you genuinely believe that this question requires an answer in order to learn the truth behind Inspector Gregson's death?
I do. I need you to trust me. Please.
I mean, the fact that the Gregson... So, okay, let's say that he was the Gregson's double, right? Whatnot. That board in there had stuff for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
So that 10 years could be related to this. Very well. Then the defense has no objection.
I see. I see. In that case, you will answer the question, witness.
The truth is, I remember very little of that time.
You've forgotten.
10 years ago, man.
I'm sorry to say, yes. As I said, I resigned from my role at the prison 10 years ago.
This is gonna be a good case. Oh, it's gotta be.
But for some particular reason, my memory of the events leading up to that moment is extremely hazy.
He's not allowed to talk about
He's not allowed to talk about it. B, honestly, if
it would be a bad time.
it's
for you.
it's a bad time. It's a bad time, so it's reasonable that he wouldn't remember it. And C, he may be under like duress to not order it, to remember it.
Does that not strike you as strange, Mr. Naruhodo?
Sorry.
Well, 10 years is a long time. But to have forgotten the reason why he left such an important job.
Yeah, that seemed to be a benchmark of your life. It's pretty common for you to remember big turning points in your life.
Yeah.
Like, even if not the whole thing, but you can remember the telltale choices of like this completely altered your life trajectory.
Yeah.
And not only that, Mr. Vigil's claim contradicts what we already know.
The human spirit is a fragile thing. It's broken all too easily. Which is why we have a tendency to wrap it up for protection.
Sorry, the human spirit? I'm afraid I don't understand what you mean.
When we experience pain and suffering that we feel unable to bear, we block it out, obliterate it from our memories, seal it away. But it never truly leaves us. If the seal is broken, the memories resurface. And when they do, that fragile spirit may finally be crushed.
But I really don't. Kazuma-sama.
You're gonna crush this man.
But if it must be crushed, then so be it. Because the truth will not stay buried. It's coming out, one way or another.
Uh-oh. We have to give him something to crush him. Now I understand. It's clear what his intentions are. He means to expose the truth at any cost.
Oh no.
Perhaps if I pointed out the contradiction in what Mr. Vigil claimed earlier, it might cause some crucial memories to return to him. But should I? Should I present the evidence or not?
Do it!
I have no idea how this is going to go, but this is a court of law, and I have a duty to pursue the truth. Perhaps we must awaken some trauma. Hey buddy, hope you're ready to relive your worst day of your life. Mr. Vigil, I'd like you to look at this. Evidence that clearly contradicts your version of the events. So what was his version of the events that was contradictory?
I was gonna say, show him that slip that says he stopped working at the prison. I guess it's not a contradiction.
Oh, no.
Harsh reprimand.
Harsh
He
reprimand.
was like, oh, I don't even remember leading up to it. It's hazy. I think
Yeah.
I remember a harsh reprimand.
Hey, look at this. Don't you remember how shitty you felt this day? Just a few moments ago, you made the following statement. I resigned from my role. Yeah, you did not resign from your role. What is this, Persona 4? Yeah, man. Man, I would play Persona 4 again. Would I? The Persona games are so much. They're neat, but they're just there's so much game if you want to get the good ending. I resigned from my role at prison 10 years ago.
Oh, well, yes.
In other words, you claim to have left the post of chief warder of your own volition.
Well, yes, of course. Why?
Tell me, do you remember seeing...
No, I don't.
This is a dismissal notice ordering the immediate termination of a prison staff member's employment.
A dismissal notice.
And the name on the notice is yours, Mr. Vigil. Your ass got fired, dude.
What? It's mine.
So you didn't resign from the prison service at all. For some reason, you were dismissed as chief warder from Barclay.
No, there's There's been some mistake. I'm sure I tendered my resignation. This dismissal notice is nonsense. Isn't it? Anime headache.
If you were forcibly dismissed, there must have been a good reason. Clearly, you did something.
Time to shake off your anime need.
Time to shake off the anime amnesia.
Mr. Visual, it's time to break the seal and have you remember.
Oh!
According to the few remaining records, the final execution that you supervised was on 17th June, 10 years ago. And on that day, something very serious took place at Barclay Prison.
Oh, the 17th of June.
Was that the professor's execution?
Professor.
Oh, as you were the chief warder at the time, it stands to reason that you would have been present throughout the proceedings.
It does sound familiar.
And yet, that execution never took place.
Da-na-na!
The convict extensively executed earlier that day later reemerged from his grave.
The convict came back to life.
In the cemetery in the middle of the night, there was a witness.
However, the witness claims that a moment after he saw the convict clambering out of his grave, a gunshot rang out from over his shoulder. And the bullet pierced the professor's chest, killing him instantly.
Da-na-na!
Those may have been the professor's actual last moments.
Yes.
Seeing as you were in charge of overseeing executions at the time, you must know the truth about what really happened. It's in there, it's in your head, somewhere deep down. Well, Chief Warder Daily Vigil, I know there are memories in your head that can explain what happened on 17th June 10 years ago. And now it's time for you to drag them up.
Kazuma's not being very gentle.
Yeah, Kazuma is not being very gentle with this. He's taking the I'm going to like reach into your skull physically and grab those memories if I have to.
You know what it makes me think of?
What does it make you think of?
We need to get the files out of the computer.
Oh no, my god! We have to get the files out of the computer and then just fucking like gorillas smash the shit on the ground.
We have to get his memories out somehow.
No, he just does that anime unsheath and then just like his hair is just gone.
Next time, I won't miss. Those memories are in there somewhere and I'll get there one way or another.
Mr. Vigil, are you okay? Are you alive? Are you live?
Yes, the whole prison. It was complete chaos.
Whoa.
The prisoner escaped. He was killed in the cemetery. The shocking news ripped through Barclay like a hurricane.
What? Wait, what? DK. And he is here to crack your skull.
Do you mean to say, Mr. Vigil, that your memories of the time have returned?
Oh, my head. It's like some floodgates have been opened. The images, the screams. Oh, my goodness. The papers. There were reports, articles about a man who'd seen a ghost.
Yes, Enoch Trevor.
But surely those reports were exaggerated.
There were traces at the scene. Traces of what? In Lowgate Cemetery, at plot number 139. Blood.
Lots of blood. That's where the man was buried, of course. Obviously, something terrible had happened there. The depths of conspiracy and depravity from which this tale is emerging are quite staggering. I've reviewed the police records from that time extensively. A thorough investigation was conducted by Scotland Yard to ascertain how the convict managed to escape in the first place. And the conclusion reached by the investigating team was that a member of the prison staff must have been involved.
So they thought that he let him out.
Oh, they thought it was you.
Are you suggesting that a prison warder abetted the man's bid for freedom?
Oh, yes. Yes. And I was suspected of doing it. Of using that mass murder's execution as a way to help him escape.
You did what?
I remember now. The horror of it all is coming back to me. One evening, a few days after the execution, some detectives came to the prison. I was called to the governor's office at the top of the watchtower.
Oh, we're back to this man.
I'm sorry, Daly. It's a serious business, but I cannot help you now. As chief warder, you're responsible for overseeing the execution of four, eh? As chief warder. Well, it seems the fellas at Scotland Yard want to have a few wee words with you about it. You better pack your things, laddie. You're to attend in person.
Oh, as soon as he told me that, my mind just went completely blank. And the next thing I knew, the professor, the most hated killer in our country's history. And I let him escape. I'm finished. My life is over.
And he jumped? Oh shit. Oh my god, yo, holy fuck. I mean, yeah, holy shit. I mean, if he actually did let, like, you know, if he let Big Mass Murder Man escape, if that was the offense as they unfolded, yeah, fuck it. I'd jump out a window. Oh my god, I'm gonna be the most instantly hated man forever.
Fetch a doctor, bailiff! Fetch a doctor at once!
Okay, man, that guy went through some shit, but now it's time to see how much of it he caused.
Court is adjourned for today with immediate effect.
Okay. And you know what, honestly, I think that might be good timing.
So,
Vigil's
with Mr.
collapse.
Vigil's collapse, proceedings came to an abrupt end for the
Ooh, yeah.
day. Once again overshadowed by the legacy of that notorious killer.
It's a very important case. Well, it's...
On a foggy ocean.
We are finding here and there why it's so important. And it really is.
Lord Van Zeeks, Mr. Vigil,
Yeah, oh my goodness.
and Gregson. All of them bound by invisible chains anchored to the same wreckage in the murky depths of the past.
And this is like, we're not even dealing with this case. I'm sure that the 10 years ago case is what we're going to be opening up for case 5.
Yeah.
But the miraculous light that had been trying to cut through the gloom and shine on those tragic events was playing on the edges of the truth at last.
I do enjoy that these last little bits are voice acted. They're kind of neat.
The little sum ups.
The little sum ups,
And the
yeah.
introductions to the episode.
To be continued. All right, so that was a bit of a shorter segment, but that works out. We started a little late. We don't want to stay up too late. Man, that's a revelation. I mean, it did kind of, a lot of it was like just big confirm, but Vigil and Gregson working together is a like,
Unusual.
that is unusual, and it's just like, do I trust that? I mean,
I was gonna say, I think the fact that board is in there
is
And
like,
he was not in the police force anymore. Like, Gregson brought that stuff there.
Yeah, Greg's...
I don't know if their arrangement is what he says their arrangement was.
Yeah, right? Like, you're just like...
But Gregson definitely knew that he was in that little apartment.
Yeah, it feels like something like where you're like, this guy, what it's in a weird place of what this guy is saying right now is like dead ass unbelievable.
Yeah.
But the evidence is there to back him up on it,
Yeah.
which is insane. Because normally it's the other way around, right? It's just like, oh, this makes perfect sense, but the evidence is just for some reason not there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like, yeah, the things line up with what he's saying. So I'm really curious what this is even what we're gonna do, where we're gonna go. Like, maybe we're gonna like, I guess maybe we'll check out the house where he was held prisoner or something. Mm-hmm. We'll talk to Zeke's a bit more. And we're probably going to talk more about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
A lot. Although even then, what if we talk about 10 years ago here and then like the next case is like something completely different?
I think the last case will have to do with the 10 years ago because it'll be the Kazuma.
You think that's going to be the Kazuma
shot.
thing? Yeah.
I think this one is going to tie up with Gregson and Van Zeek's like being
There.
This case wrapped up.
Yeah.
And this
The 10 years ago being something completely else for the next case then?
Well, I think that this case is here for us to get some information of specifically this jailer that seems like,
Oversaw
oh man,
it.
I'm getting blamed for this. We don't know if he did it or not. Jumped out a window. Then
And
we
he's
might,
just like...
So that's like a lead to what happened. Because before it was like, okay, he clearly didn't get executed if he came out of the grave and got shot. Now
But-
this guy is saying, yeah, there wasn't an execution, there was an escape.
What if it was an unintentional escape? What if it was like a body swap thing?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, what if the true, like, professor that nobody remembers, nobody knows what his face was because everything was super uptight, whatnot. What if the true professor performed a body swap with, Genshin Asogi, so that it was like, but let someone see Genshin Asogi try to get out, so it could be like, oh no, that dude was the professor. It was him the whole time. Meanwhile, actual killer, because that would explain why someone came in and just fucking popped the guy after he got out of the grave.
Yeah.
You know, like...
So yeah, I think that this one is leading us that extra breadcrumb for the final case, but I think at this point we're gonna say, okay, well we can prove Van Zeeks didn't kill Gregson.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, rest in peace, Gregson. Man, it's just like, it's always so sudden and crazy when it's just like, it's off screen. And it's just, you got nothing.
Yeah.
That was it. Our last moment with him was us yelling about like a fucking balloon. That was our last time we hung out. Wait, no, there might have been something beforehand. But either way,
I
it was...
mean, we talked about it when he was there, about his bad eating habits.
Oh yeah, his bad eating habits. And like how he wants the best for Gina. Oh my god. So we'll discover more of that next time. And next time will be, you're off at a reasonable hour tomorrow? Yeah. Okay. So tomorrow we'll be continuing this. We're gonna be doing some more. I might just sleep in all day tomorrow. Again. I might wake up early, might do some Tales of Rise, might do some stuff during the day, but, I'm not gonna promise that one. But the 9 o'clock will be more great Ace Attorney Chronicles for you all. So, I hope you're all pumped to find out more of how this story goes. We went way off the track of Red Hair Gang.
Yeah.
You are also off tomorrow. Ooh, you get to watch in the whole time. Okay. How early are you off, CaptnmcD?
5.
You're off at 5? Oh man, yo, we can have that like 6, 7 o'clock start this time then. Yo, so we get like extra
if you go
time.
out in the day, which was your plan, you can pick me up after.
Yeah, I can maybe grab you.
Home and eat and start.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan. Sounds like a date. So hell yeah, more Ace Attorney Chronicles, and yeah, Mina, you're gonna get to watch the Monday for once. That's rad. Also, Mina, we've got a huge gang of people trying to start Guilty Gear again because the new character dropped. So we got to find out when you're free because I am going to force you to play, so we can get some more Guilty Gear going. Yeah, we can have Sickles versus Faust, because Captain McD will fight you. I'm telling you, I think I might just buy a second copy of Guilty Gear just to put on Captain McD's computer so that we can have a full rotation proper. Because that game is sick. I'm also off all week. Ooh. Oh, okay, Mino, we have to...
Like Mario Party?
That sounds like Mario Party, or it sounds like maybe there is no Tekken night next week. Maybe we'll have Guilty Gear night next week.
Christmassy Animal Crossing?
Oh, wait. Some Christmassy Animal Crossing?
Snowboys are in season?
Snowboys are in season. Yo, okay, Mino, we have to decide what we're going to be doing for a collab. Because if you're off all week, we got to find a day to chill. we got to have at least one, like, possibly Christmas-themed or winter-themed or snow-themed sort of game. And we'll figure that out at some point. I don't know, maybe between today, like, maybe during tomorrow's stream, we'll come up with a plan. Okay. But yes, I've rambled on long enough, I think. I think the post-stream ramble has gone on for quite enough time. So I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you missed anything before, make sure to check the VOD so you're caught up on the story, because it is getting quite complex and intense. But I figure most of you here right now are pretty regular, so you guys all have a pretty good idea of what's going on. And yeah, look forward to tomorrow's stream, where we will be continuing this and have a lot more time as opposed to today. So, have a good night. Take it easy, y'all. And peace out.